Next, we're going to build shapes from the overlapping paths we created in the sail. The Shape Builder tool makes it easy to break apart overlapping objects into component pieces. The tool works similar to Pathfinder, but it works on a piece-by-piece basis rather than for an entire selected shape. Take your selection tool and draw a marquee that selects all of the lines that make up the right sail. Choose the Shape Builder tool from the tool panel, and then reset the fill and stroke to the default. Move the cursor over the bottom section of the sail and click the highlighted area to create a new shape. Repeat this for each one of the strips. Using your Alt key, Option if you're on a Mac, move the cursor over the bottom line segment outside the right sail edge. Click the segment to remove it. And repeat this for all the extraneous line segments. Control-click away from the sail to deselect. Now, using your Direct Selection tool, click the right edge of the top shape to select that segment. Click the selected segment and drag slightly out to create a slight bulge. And repeat that for the rest of the outside of the sail. This is probably a really good place to save your work again. Next, we're going to use the Draw Behind mode. Deselect everything on the artboard by clicking off to the side. Choose your pen tool. Select the left sail and fill it with white. Scroll down and select the boat shape and fill it with black. You might want to zoom out just a little bit if you're in that tight, because the next thing we're going to do is create the mast that is behind the sails. So we're going to be working with the Draw Behind mode. Deselect everything on the artboard. Choose the pen tool, and in the control panel, set the fill color to a dark brown, or use the panel on the side. And set your stroke to none. At the bottom of the Tools panel, you're going to select the Draw Behind mode. You can use Shift+D to switch modes to the Draw Behind. This is going to allow you to draw behind the sails without having to create another layer. And we're going to draw in the mast. And then use the pen tool again to draw the boom. Deselect by holding down your Control key and clicking to the side. And now change your drawing mode to Draw Normal. Choose the pencil tool. Make sure the fill color is none and change the stroke color to a brown with a stroke weight of 2 points, and you're going to draw in the ropes. You can always adjust the anchor points of the rope until you're satisfied with the results. We're moving on into stage 2, coloring and painting the artwork. The CMYK color model is also called process color, and it recreates the range of printable colors by overlapping layers of cyan, magenta, yellow, and black inks in varying percentages. Theoretically, using pure pigments, a mixture of equal parts of cyan, magenta, and yellow creates black. Real pigments, however, are not pure, and the actual result of mixing those three colors usually comes out kind of a muddy brown. You add black to cyan, magenta, and yellow to extend the range of printable colors and to allow a purer black to be printed. In process color printing, each of the 4 process colors, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, is separated onto an individual printing plate, and each color separation is then printed on a separate unit of a printing press. When printed on top of each other in varying percentages, the semi-transparent inks produce the range of colors in the CMYK gamut. Other special colors, which are called spot colors, are printed using specifically formulated inks as additional color separations. Different color models have different ranges or gamuts of possible colors. Humans are capable of distinguishing approximately 16.7 million different colors. Each color production system is far more limited. The RGB model has the largest gamut of the output models, and the CMYK gamut is much more limited, and many of the bright and most saturated colors that we can see on a television screen can't be reproduced using CMYK inks. We're going to begin by creating global custom color swatches. According to our original sketch, the sail in this project will be filled using 3 different colors. They're indicated by C1, C2, and C3. We're going to create these colors and then save them as swatches that can be changed at any time to modify the colors in the artwork. Make sure that everything on the artboard is deselected and open your color panel and swatches panel. And you can pull those off so that they'll stay open. Yes, I did. Now, if you don't see these 4 sliders, show your options for the panel. In your swatches panel, we're going to select all of these colors that we did not use and delete them. So, delete color swatches. Now, I didn't grab a pure white for my left sail, so I have a 10% or 5% grayscale, plus I've got all the white. So I am going to next select all of the white shapes and then change the opacity field in the control panel to 50. First, I'm going to select one section of the right sail and go to select same fill color, and I'm going to shift click to select the left sail. Then in my control panel, I'm going to change my opacity to 50% so I can see the instructions coming through. Opacity defines how transparent the selected object is. Deselect everything again, and then use the selection tool to select the top stripe in the sail. Press Shift and click the other 2 shapes that are labeled C1 to add them to the selection. In the color panel, make sure that the fill icon is on top of the stroke icon so that it's active. Now select a green area in the color spectrum bar. All three selected objects will fill with whatever green color you clicked. They seem a whole lot lighter than the color that's indicated here because of the transparency that we've put on it. With that fill color still active in the color panel, click the New Swatch button in the Swatches panel. That's this one that looks like a page with the corner flipped up. Click the Global option and then say OK. Now select the two shapes that are labeled with C2. Repeat the same process, but this time you're going to fill those shapes with a blue color and create a new global swatch. Select the C3 shape and fill it with a purple color. And create a new global color off of it. Deselect everything and save so you don't lose your file. Control S. And now we're going to add a color gradient. The original sketch shows the left sail is a gradient of the three colors from the other sail. The gradient tool makes it easy to create this gradient based on the three custom swatches you defined from your previous exercise. Select the left sail shape and open your gradient panel. And then click the swatch. That's going to apply the linear gradient to the selected object. In the gradient panel, double-click the left gradient stop on the gradient ramp. That opens up the swatches pop-up panel, and it will display the swatches that we made that are stored in the current document. Click your green global swatch and then hit return to close the dialog box. Double-click the right gradient stop to open the pop-up panel again and put in the purple color swatch, and again enter to close the dialog box. Click once right below the gradient ramp and you're going to add another color stop. Double-click it and apply the blue stop and hit enter. We're going to change the location though to 40. So enter that. So we now move that stop from the center to 40%. Click the left gradient stop and drag it to the right until the location field shows approximately 5%. You can control the different stops on the gradient slider. The little diamond shape that comes up on the top shows the midpoints between the two stops. That's the point where it's 50% of one color and 50% of the other. And you can change that around so that the gradient runs slightly different. And you can do that with either of the stops. And you can see how the gradient reflects that change in location. Click the marker above the gradient ramp between the left and middle stops and drag that until the location field is at approximately 30%. Next, we're going to edit our global color swatches. This would be a great point, since I forgot to do it earlier, to change our opacity back to 100%. With the left sail still selected, select Same, Opacity, and change the opacities all the way up to 100% so you can see the full colors better.